Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
The man police say held a knife to a 7-year-old girl's throat in this Meijer parking lot Sunday faced a judge today. We'll tell you why. He didn't care if he got out of jail or not.
All right, Jason, also not so fast. After a flurry of activity overnight, the push to lower Michigan's high auto insurance rates seems to have hit a big roadblock.
But we begin with activity on 4 Live radar here and the threat of severe storms moving into tonight.
Start things off here on Local 4 News at 5 with Ben and see whether we've got any trouble spots popping up here yet. Ben.
A couple of them that we're watching, Kim and Devin. We got temperatures into the 70s, so now this activity has some juice to work with. A couple of those at the edges of our viewing area towards Lansing, or at least south of there. The big cell that we're watching is just coming out of Toledo. This is headed towards the lake. Still may hold together over in parts of Ontario, and there was a decent amount of lightning with that just about a few minutes ago, I should say. Hail forecast looks like it's intensified a little bit coming off the shoreline, but again, that's away from us. We still have the potential for strong storms tonight, even though the area has been pared back. The east side and our south zone still under a marginal risk for severe weather, at least through the evening hours. We'll talk more on the timing of this, but it looks like we've got the potential of seeing thunderstorms right through the midnight hour. If we get a break at all, it looks like it's going to be around 8, 9 o'clock, a little brief one before those thunderstorms fire back up, mainly east and south. Take a good look at these numbers because it's the last time you'll see numbers like that. A much cooler forecast into the weekend in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben, we want to get to some breaking news we're following from Dearborn, where a bad crash has shut down eastbound Ford Road near the Southfield Freeway. Take a look here. You can see from Sky 4 this involves what looks like a car hauler. Right now, drivers are being told to avoid that area. No word yet on any injuries, but we'll update you as soon as the road is back open and we get any more details. Our other top story tonight, a marathon session in the House ends with a breakthrough vote approving a bill that would lower auto insurance rates for drivers statewide.
Yeah, House approved this bill shortly after 2 o'clock this morning, but then a few hours later, Governor Whitmer stepped in and said she would veto it. Let's get to Rod Maloney with where things stand now. Back to square one, or is this at least a block upon which we can build more?
I'm not sure it's square one, Devin, but we're not far from that. I mean, the cost of one of these, your insurance card, is not going to be coming down anytime soon. And there are a number of reasons why. The first one is because there is a fairly wide gap between the House and the Senate bill. And then, of course, there is the governor standing in line waiting with her veto pen.
The budget bite auto insurance puts on the average Michigan households reaching a boiling point, producing battling bills in Lansing. Here's a quick side-by-side comparison. The Senate looks to close the Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association. That's the lifetime unlimited disability coverage, and the House said no to that. That's a significant difference. When it comes to personal injury protection, both want it, but in differing ways. The House went with 5 choices, starting with $50,000 going up to unlimited. The Senate wants just 2, $50,000 and $250,000. Which is another big difference. Both say yes, though, to opting out of coverage with qualified health care insurance, which includes Medicare and Medicaid. The governor has said she wants to see guaranteed PIP price rollbacks. Only the House bill does that. Both do use the workers' compensation schedules for treating injuries. Another of the governor's demands is a ban on non-driving factors in deciding costs. The House bill does, the Senate does not. Today, the governor was adamant.
I've been very clear that I'm not going to sign a bill that preserves a corrupt system where insurance companies are allowed to unfairly discriminate in setting rates. I am only interested in signing a bill that is reasonable and fair and actually provides strong consumer protections and immediate financial relief.
Now, she's promising a veto, though she didn't use those words. She's saying that she's going to veto this thing because she doesn't like what she sees coming out of the legislature, but she's tied it to something else, and that is the budget and the big gas tax, the 45 cents a gallon that she wants. And so, essentially, trying to get both of those squared away is going to be very difficult, and now we're getting at loggerheads between the legislature and the governor. Devin, back to you.
And this impasse, I just kind of leaves us all stuck, I guess, Rod.
Well, Devin, I'm guessing that come September, you and I are going to be up late a couple of nights while they sort this thing out with the possibility of a government shutdown in the state of Michigan.
Been a while since we've seen that, but we have definitely seen it before. All right, Rod. Well, as the rain falls tonight, nerves will once again be frayed in Dearborn Heights.
Yeah, it's been a week since intense flooding hit the city, causing damage that'll take weeks to fix. And throughout this whole ordeal, residents have one question. What is the city doing to prevent this from happening again? Coco McAvoy spoke to one flood victim who says he's been trying to get answers. She's live at a city council meeting that started moments ago. Coco, good evening.
That's right. Good evening. And that man we spoke to is planning to come here to City Hall for that meeting that just picked up a few minutes ago. While we were inside, we did notice there was a crowd of residents, and all of them are planning to raise questions about flooding.
So I'm stuck, left with this.
Tom DeLomas' home is almost unrecognizable after heavy flooding in Dearborn Heights.
They had to rip everything out. They had to do everything. This is what I'm left after insurance.
And it's stressful.
You can see that.
He's struggling to pay for repairs.
But, you know, what am I gonna do? I gotta roll with the punches here.
DeLomas talked to city officials several times over the years about the flooding.
They know where I'm at and what I'm under here. And she goes, Tom, we just don't have the money.
Just unfulfilled promises.
And I got nothing.
He's not the only one.
We had a beautiful basement. I mean, furniture, everything.
Now it looks like a construction zone after flooding.
We had to rip everything out, the doors.
Namet Turfi says there was 2 feet of water in her basement.
I was terrified. You know, this is home. We've been in it for 45 years.
Neither want to just up and move. Instead, they want the city to fix the problems before the next flood.
It's just a mess.
And this city council meeting is not about flooding. It's about a separate issue. The city council wants to pass a resolution, but there will be a public comment portion. And you can guarantee that residents will be raising their concerns about the flooding here in Dearborn Heights. Reporting live this evening, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4.
Okay, Coco. President Trump did not hold back today, touching pretty much all the bases from tariffs on China to what's going on with North Korea to Donald Jr.'s, quote, surprising subpoena.
Well, I was very surprised. I saw Richard Burr saying there was no collusion 2 or 3 weeks ago. He went outside and somebody asked him, no, there's no collusion. We found no collusion.
The president believes the Mueller report exonerated his son over his meeting with Russians at Trump Tower. When asked about China, meanwhile, in trade, the president says he plans on raising tariffs on China tomorrow. Then it was time to address North Korea and its missile tests, and the president had this to say.
Well, we're looking at it very seriously right now. They were smaller missiles, short-range missiles. Nobody's happy about it, but we're taking a good look, and we'll see. We'll see.
President Trump also announced support for a bipartisan bill that would eliminate surprise medical expenses for things such as emergency out-of-network care.
Well, the details are frightening. A 7-year-old held at knife point in a daylight robbery attempt at this Meyer parking lot in Pittsfield Township. And this afternoon, the man who prosecutors say carried out that attack appeared in court.
Jason Colthorpe was there for that arraignment. This was actually supposed to happen yesterday.
Yeah, it was. And it was pushed back to today because Melvin Schroof didn't want the media there as he was formally charged. The judge again reminded him the media was watching today, and Schroof clearly didn't want to be seen.
So you had a chance to speak with a lawyer and you're ready to go today, is that right?
Yes, ma'am. A day after explaining to the judge why he wanted a lawyer before his arraignment, Melvin Schroof sat almost entirely silent with his head down as his case was discussed.
And it's my understanding he is not requesting me to make a bond motion at this time.
Schroof, who is homeless and unemployed, appeared in a white jumpsuit, signifying a prisoner who is in protective custody. A court employee told me he's on suicide watch.
He has a parole hold with MDOC, so regardless of what we did, he would not be able to leave.
Schroof is charged with trying to rob a woman in the parking lot here of this Meyer on Sunday, but the details of that are what are truly terrifying. Police say he actually held a knife to the throat of a 7-year-old girl, the daughter of that woman, and he threatened to kill her if she didn't get back in her car. He eventually just grabbed the woman's wallet and ran off after a commotion broke out.
Mr. Schroof has been to prison
I believe on 4 separate occasions dating back to 1980.
Shroof turned himself in just hours later, but the prosecutor's office wanted to make sure he wasn't able to be released.
The defendant is facing 2 life offenses, 5 other assaultive felonies, and it did involve, the placing the knife on a 7-year-old's neck in broad daylight just down the road in front of Meyer. So I think that Mr. Shroof does represent a danger to the community.
And you heard Shroof is on parole there. That's from a home invasion in 2001, a home invasion 2. So even if he could post his $100,000 bond, he wouldn't be released because it would violate that. So he's staying put.
Yeah. He didn't seem, prosecutors didn't want him released. He didn't seem to be fighting to be released.
And you heard, his court-appointed attorney said he made it clear he's not fighting it at all.
Stay put, yeah.
All right,
Jason. A judge has ordered University of Michigan President Mark Schlissel to appear in court next month. Judge ordering Schlissel to appear for discussions about the school's sexual misconduct policy. The settlement was the result of a suit from a former student who says the school treated him as guilty of sexual assault without evidence or without the opportunity to defend himself. Last year, U of M changed their sex misconduct policy to ensure hearings for students who've been accused of sexual assault.
We are just getting started here at 5. Here's defender Kevin Dietz.
A grandmother's emotional reaction watching video of her grandson being punched by police officers. The defenders investigate.
All right, Kevin, also what a mess. Local 4 cameras exposing illegal dumping in a Detroit neighborhood. There was one thing the dumpers left behind, though, that caught our reporter's eye. We'll have that coming up.
But first, sadness turns into anger in Colorado as the community wants to know why 2 people opened fire inside a school. That story's next.